him because he owes a lot of money, and I'm quite sure he's afraid we go to attorney and we tell them he needs to pay now, and then we can call him what we in Denmark call personally bankrupt. Is that the right word, Pia?
Bankruptcy.
Yeah, personally. And he's afraid for me doing this, and that's why I think there's money on his way into his company. So, but the story is, as I've been told, is that Helge make a lot of this in his backyard with special things. He has something for psoriasis on the skin, and he make special things. But then he have dropped some of this on some tiles at home, and I have pictures of this. And then he saw year after year, nothing happened. There get any algae around this area, and he took some photos. And then he said after 7 years, he was a little bit amazed. What has happened? So there was a product he probably have developed for some other things, and then he just saw this can stop algae. That's the story we know now. But of course, now we will send an email to Helge and ask him what is the story about it.
Okay. So he was making a product that was intended to treat psoriasis.
No. That's what I told you. No, you misunderstand. No, I said Helge make a lot of special things. So that's what I say. One day he makes something psoriasis, and some day for some other stuff. I don't know which stuff it was, but he dropped something on the floor outdoor, and then he find out the algae don't grow in this, and then he developed a product for out of this he dropped on the floor.
Okay. Yeah, that is a great story. And so the more detail we can get, the better.
Yeah.
And because some of the best products were discovered by accident.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Then it's yeah.
Like the little 3M sticky pads. Those tear-off sheets that you can stick anywhere. Notepads.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I think I do 3M.
I think I have one here. Like these little notepads that you can stick anywhere.
Yeah.
The glue on these was invented by accident.
Wow.
It was developed by a company here in the U.S., 3M. And they were trying to create an adhesive for a customer, and they came up with this glue, and it failed. It didn't work. It didn't hold the product the way that it was supposed to. But somebody had accidentally dropped a piece of paper onto this surface where this glue was. And they thought, oh no, we've ruined it. And the guy reached down, pulled the paper up, and it just easily removed.
Oh yeah.
And somebody said, wow, look at that. You could make the paper stick right where you want it. And next thing you know, they're making pads with this adhesive, and they've sold billions of dollars for this product. And so there's a great story to tell there. And so the more detail we can get about this, the better, because then we can tell a great story. Now, the question that we need to determine is, we probably don't, because I think your intention is that Helge is not going to be involved long term, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so we may need to rename Helge.
Yeah.
And not use his name in our story.
Yeah.
Or figure out a way to, just talk about. So the more detail you can get from me, the better.
Yeah, but that's I'm quite sure I can manage that for the moment.
Okay. All right. Very good. And so then, what are the specific claims that we're making about the product? So it will inhibit algae growth.
Yeah.
And for how long?
I mean, he said up to 10 years, but 5 to 10 years, but we talk about 10 years.
Okay. Up to 10 years. And is it on smooth surfaces, porous surfaces? I know I've heard you talk about wood.
I'm saying the best is that you clean the surface first. It's the best. So you totally clean it so there's no algae on it, and then you cut it on. It can also let the algae die, but it's not the best is to clean the surface, and it is surface like we said, concrete, and when you make this you have a brick wall, when you get some white on you so all walls, outdoor walls can even a roof. Have we talked about roof, but I'm not definitely sure. But tiles, outdoor tiles, whatever, swimming pools. But of course we need to test some of these areas. But we know in concrete and tiles, and that's most important. Because this is the biggest area.
In swimming pools, is there any residual that comes off the product that would go into the pool to cause any kind of chemical reaction? Or
I thought about the same, so we need test about this. Not that we know.
Okay. And
but let's say we can say from the start, even the market for the outdoor areas is huge. As there's algae everywhere. So.
And were you able to get any additional information on the material data safety sheet?
We have data sheet, yeah, Danish one. Have we? I'm not sure we have an English one, but we can manage to get it on English. I know a guy who can make that. Okay,
because I think we're going to need that as well.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so we're going to.
This data sheet will, of course, be on the condition on the Danish law, and then we later on must see if they want this SDS data sheet in America, but that's no problem. It's
yeah. Okay, and then so that's what it'll do for them. So you clean the surface, make sure there's no algae. And then it's applied by brush or spray or either?
Either. You can do both.
So it basically goes on like paint.
Yeah. But it's also possible to spray it, but I think but you can do it both.
Okay. And again, of course, the material handling safety sheet would talk about this, but if you spray it, what kind of precautions have to be taken? Are there any hazardous chemicals in the product?
Yeah, there's some in, but it's a really small amount, but it can we need to get permission for it, but it's the same as in Coca-Cola. There's also one product in Coca-Cola. If you take it in 100%, then you will die. So it should not be any dangerous. But we need to. You also have this regulation in your country, biocid. There's something called biocid regulation, and
okay. So what are you, or what you saying is a bio sheet? BIO bio sheet?
A BIO, and then a CID.
CID. Oh, okay.
And I think when we talk about it for a year ago, we also find a little bit on a website in United States. and it should not get any problems. But we need to take care of all this. So.
I'm just looking here.
Oh.
Okay, is that one word or two words?
It's one word.
Okay. I am finding biocide, BIOCIDE, or biocidin, which is BIOCIDIN.
I mean, it can be with an E at last. I don't know.
I think it's probably the first one,
Yeah.
according to a American spelling.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so biocide is a poisonous substance, especially found in pesticides.
Yeah.
And it is used for the destruction of life.
Yeah.
So biocide. Okay, so there are some biocide chemicals in there.
I'm quite sure there's a little one. Yeah, it's not much.
Yeah, in fact, I'm looking at a Wikipedia site here that says the European legislation as chemical substance or microorganism intended to destroy, deter, render harmless, or exert a controlling effect on any harmful organism or chemical or biological means. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency uses a slightly different definition for biocides as a diverse group of poisonous substances, including preservatives, insecticides, disinfectants, and pesticides used for the control of organisms that are harmful to human or animal health or that can cause damage or natural manufactured products. Okay, so it's a biocide.
Yeah.
But
as I said, the amount of the material in the product is so little, so it should not harm anyone. But of course, we need to consider this and find out if it should be any problem.
Yeah. But then that's where it comes in.
I think I know this guy who can translate it for me to English. Maybe he knows the rules in your country, the regulation. So it's a man I know. Maybe I can ask him. It could be an idea.
I think the issue there is we got to make sure translating is one thing, but you've got to file a data sheet with the government here.
Yeah, yeah.
Material safety data sheet. Let's see what regulations are for that.
I think this guy, I know he work international, so maybe he even can help me to do it.
Okay.
To make it American. He know everything in Europe, and he's one of the specialists in Europe. So maybe he is worldwide. I know he travel a lot. I sit here with what the product who is in this algae free. We have something called ammonia hydrogen fluoride, 2%, phosphorus 2%, natrium. That's okay. There's some quite funny stuff in it, but that's why it works.
Yeah, and so we just have to. Let's see here.
As I know the new regulation in Europe demand that we get a permission for this. But if we get the permission, but it can cost more than 1 million Danish kroner to get it, then we will be in head of all the other companies in Denmark and in Europe. And that's why I have some talk with Borup Chemi, this big company. Yeah, in fact, I have the meeting when you were here.
Yeah, and have you heard any more from them?
I mean, it's me. I need some materials from Helge to the walls. You know, we also talk about this stuff we can get on the wall, so there's the water don't can't. Yeah, what do you call it?
Chalk.
What for noget?
Chalk.
Yeah.
If you take, you can remove the water from the glass walls in the shower, and in our country or here in Roskilde, we have a lot of chalk in the water, and it makes all these marks on the glass.
Yeah.
So if we put that stuff, the glass walls in the showers will be a lot easier to clean and keep clean.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So,
that's why-
so what you're saying is there are a ton of uses for this product.
I mean, no. This was another product we
Oh,
talked
it's a
about
different-
yesterday.
Okay.
Last time we said that could also be a something for the market in your country, and I could send you an YouTube where they show it on some tiles that there's had a lot of dirt on, and then they clean it. Then you can have an idea. And
Okay.
what I told you last time, Randy, was that this product is more easy than anyone else because it dry in 20 minutes, and all the other products on the market take 8 to 9 hours. So
Okay.
people can get fast in and out, and it's quite it's not so expensive.
So which one's a higher priority for you?
Let's say the algae must be. What do you say, Pia?
I think the algae, because the patent is also running out. So
Yeah.
I think it's here that we will have to use all our energy in the first place, and then we will see how that goes, and after that, then make a decision: should we or should we not proceed with the other product to remove the chalk or keep bathrooms or make it easier to keep bathrooms clean.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it would be better to work at one product.
Okay. So you're going to.
More or less what I said, Randy, because it's I can show you the presentation on YouTube video and get you some information. Because if you one day will have a meeting with people like Home Depot, then it will be a good idea to show them this, because it's a thing we can get fast on the market. There's not so many dangerous thing in it, and it really works, and it's easy. It's the cleaning gets so easy, and then we can have all these American videos. You know, you're so good to make videos where everything disappears.
Yeah. Okay. So send me the link, and I'll take a look at it.
Yeah.
And then also, by when can you get back to me with the story about the algae doctor?
And I think already Monday I can have that story.
Okay. All right. So I'll look for that by Monday.
Yeah.
And then you're going to send me the link on the other product. I'll take a look at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that story, we've got, I'm just thinking out loud here, so bear with me a second. Okay, then what specifically are you asking of these companies? You want them, as we've discussed in the past, you want them to buy the rights to manufacture and distribute the product in the United States. That's what you're asking of them, right?
Yeah, I think, and if it's a big chemical company and they can see the potential, then it would be okay for me if they talk about worldwide. That will be. It's depend on how the company work today.
Okay.
And it
So,
also depends on if we get a certain amount of money from them once, and then they say goodbye, or we get some money from each part they sell. Because if they go worldwide and we get one from each part, and when it works, then this can also be a good idea. It's
and so let's say that they were willing to give you a a dollar amount upfront and then give you royalties for a certain period of time, what would your expectations be? How much upfront and what percentage of sales and for how long?
So, but what I can tell you in this area, Randy, I can tell you a lot about parking houses and renovation. It's not an area I've been working so much in. So, but I think you cannot expect more. I need some electricity here. I don't think we can. If we want royalty, we cannot expect more than 10 years for that. I don't think that will be fair. Do you think?
Okay. Okay, so 10 years of royalties and
if we go royalty, or we can also talk about the just pay a certain amount, but it's difficult to let people pay the right amount before they know the potential.
Yeah.
Is there any time? Sorry for my English, but is there any time? Is there any time where companies do the same as when you make new medication? If you go to one of the big companies, we said we are now in stage 4 for the new diabetes list, and we only have 2 stages more. Will you help us to develop? Is there some possibility to go to a company and say, we have developed all this, we're finished with this, we are right here now, and now we just need to the next step. Do you want to be a part of this? And then we can split some of we have the product and you come with your money and you know how to go further.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I could see anything real quick here about what other companies have paid for product. So let me just throw out a number. So if somebody came back and said, we like your idea, we want to buy your idea, and we're going to give you $100,000 US, and then we're going to give you 1% of sales for the next 10 years. Would that be satisfactory?
And 1%, it depends on, is it 1% of the sales price they have in the stores, or is it 1% of if it's 1% of the sales in the stores, then of course one is a little low. I remember when we talked with Bob down there, I can't remember how much it was. It was a little bit more than this.
Okay.
I think, let me see, I was Helge thought he would get a lot of money for it, but I think it was more than 10%. But I haven't got a clue what you normally get.
I'll do a little research on that.
Yeah. And I almost become a little friend with the CEO at the board, so I can also ask him what the normal is for this. He normally quite friendly when I call him.
Okay.
Please go to there. Right.
Okay, so I'll look at that and see if I can figure out what companies have paid for products in the past. You know, a lot of times these products get developed in research and development departments within companies, and so you know they don't pay anything to people, but for people that have sold products.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds.
All right, so you're going to get me some content on the story. By Monday, you're going to speak to your friend about the material data safety sheet.
Yeah.
And you think you'll have that by Monday too?
That's depend on where he is. He can be out of traveling. So let's say tomorrow, in the morning, I send an email to him. Or maybe I even send it now because I know he work almost every evening. He answered me, so can be better to do it now.
Okay. I'm just making notes here.
Kan du lige aldrig lagt videoer ned og sådan noget?
Okay, and okay, all right. I've got that down, and I'm going to do some research on the history of what other products have been sold for. I should be able to find some of that somewhere, and then that will answer our last question: is you know what our expectations are for the payment, and then that should have it. We'd have how the product was created, what it'll do for them. We've got that. What you're asking for them to do, and what you're asking for the rights for them to do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then concerning the safe seal, that for walls, I also found I sent a little email to you just to short to explain a little bit about the product and show you the video, and then we can see how the potential is in this, because because that can Bo was really interested in this. I just need to let Helge to make some materials for me, or I should do it myself. But I have the recipe, but I'm not a chemist.
Yeah. Well, especially with some of those chemicals, you want to make sure somebody knows what they're doing when they do it.
Yeah.
You could injure yourself or others.
Yeah. And that I never will do. I will take care for that.
Yes. Okay. All right. What else should we talk about today then?
I think we should take a short update now. Now we couldn't join the meeting yesterday, so if you have 10 minutes to take a short update on all our transformation things, then